Hello! How's it going, everybody? What's going on today? I had a hell of a busy day today. I went to the doctor. Got the oil changed on my car. That's about all. I guess just going to the doctor's a little bit. Out of the usual. I'm kind of out of breath. Give me a second. Let's look at the chat. What are you guys talking about? Yo, what's up, Jack? Lots of stuff. Brad, did you see the Major League Paintball had a booth at the Monaco Global Sports Media and Tech Industry Leaders event? Jesus, that's a hell of a long something. Global Sports Media and Tech Industry Leaders. Yeah, I kind of saw that. I actually thought that already happened. I know that Tom Cole talked about that, like, I don't know, a month ago or something like that. And I actually thought it already took place. So it was kind of cool to see that they had their booth all set up and like all of that stuff. Let's see if we can find some pictures really fast. The booth looked kind of cool, and it was kind of cool to see all the other like big sports leagues from around the world or something. I don't know if they put it on here. Maybe if we search Major League, well, I guess we got to type correctly. Oh, whoa, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Major League Paintball. The problem with it, look at this Major League PB is go. Why is it not like, I don't know. Major League Paintball. Well, I don't know. I know I saw the pictures, guys, but I don't know where I saw them, I guess. So we're not going to look forever at that. Let me just cruise the internet and hope I find it. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's good to see that, yeah, we're like trying stuff, that Tom Cole, the NXL president's actually out there like fighting for paintball or something like that. Mid-job interview. You're in the middle of a job interview? Well, if you're in the middle of a job interview, I don't think you're getting the job. Greetings, Earthlings. Let's see if we can... Where is everyone at? Sometimes I ask that. I haven't been asking that recently. Where is everybody? Let me know if you're like somewhere crazy. I want to know if I can find someone in like Belize or something. If you're in Belize, let me know in the chat. Nope, no Belizeans. Belizeans? I don't know. We got Texas, we got Arizona, Melbourne, Australia. That one counts as cool. Connor, I'd rather probably be in Melbourne right now. See how I pronounced it? Melbourne. Bogota, that's cool. Bogota, Colombia. Dang. Cool. Well, welcome to a live stream in Sacramento, California. Eyes are kind of watery. The Caribbean, St. Martin. Really? Are you in St. Martin? Really? That's crazy. YouTube's giving me problems right now. Pennsylvania, doggy, it's not nearly as cool as the Caribbean, St. Martin. St. Martin, a British territory? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, we don't have a lot to talk about today. I have things we can talk about. We're going to talk about the Hormesis Elite Tour. There's a new, like, another VR thing that's coming out called Paintball Battleground. Just as Doggy says in this chat. Yeah, we'll talk about that, like, just a moment, like, literally. There's probably a Twister CS3, that's my guess. We can talk about that for a little bit. And that's about all. Let's see. I saw abnormal, I think that's what that says, or abdominal. I don't know. I can't pronounce that. KP 3.5s have been super hard to come by. Yeah. What is the next best option for that price? I'd appreciate your insight. You know, I don't know. There's not a lot of options, really. We talked about that last weekend, how we saw, let's see if I can even pull that up. We saw these Nova paintball guns, and Nova are actually going to come out with a new pump gun. That right there. But certainly these past like handful of years or so, pump guns in general have just been kind of rare. There aren't a lot of manufacturers making pump guns, especially nothing really like that KP3. I think that probably the closest thing, I mean, that you can just go buy is the CCM guns, but those are substantially more money. I think the closest thing probably to the KP3s is probably going to be the Empire Sniper, although that Empire Sniper might be commanding a couple $100 more than the KP3. There just aren't a lot of good lower end cheapish pump guns out. The Phantom's out there, but it's quite a bit different than that KP3. So I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you. I'm sorry. It's just hard. What can we talk about? Let's talk about... Well, we already kind of talked about this. I don't know a ton about this. But let's open this. This is a new video game called Paintball Battleground VR made... you know, I don't know a lot about the VR stuff, but I know it's in the, like, people are using the Meta Quest. It actually looks pretty cool. Let's see if I can, like, let's see if there's, like, audio or, like, what is actually going on with this thing. Oh, gosh, It does look kind of cool. I mean, I don't know what's going on here with all this happening. It does look pretty good, though. Yeah, I don't know. This is I just saw this today. I think it's only been out a couple, like 2 weeks or something like that. And there's quite a few of these VR paintball games popping around the internet. It's not like the only one. Look at this. You got like the locker room you can go in and stuff. But weirdly, every video I found, everyone's using Tippman 98s. So there's not like a speedball version necessarily, but it looks really good. Well, maybe you can just shoot those things fast, so they don't have like... Oh, that looks like he got shot there. No. But it does look kind of cool. I don't know what the chat's saying. What are you guys saying in here? Yeah, having the locker rooms is kind of weird. Someone stay out of the locker rooms. Bad things happen in there. Yeah, especially if that Sandusky character's lurking. I'm meaning to pull this up. So this is their actual website. Or not actual website, but this is the actual... Oh, I gotta be on the right monitor. I'm like clicking things on the screen. Yep. But again, like, I don't know anything about this. Like, if I hit get, what happens? You gotta log into my Meta account. I don't know. See, I don't know if you gotta pay for this. I don't know if it's free. I don't know anything about VR. I don't have a VR headset. I don't really want a VR headset. I don't really want anything to do with video games. So, there's that. But it's a new virtual reality paintball gun. 2-bit. I have a Tippman 98 custom, laughing my ass off. It still has a theft sensor on it. Wait, did you steal it from somewhere? Like one of those square tag things? I don't think VR games are it. Either you gotta buy a more closed headset or spend money on a big GPU to drive it. Yeah, that's true, I guess. I guess I know a little bit about it. I really don't want a good paintball video game that isn't VR. Normal PC, please. I don't know if there's a big enough market for it. I think one of the interesting things about VR is that it's probably appealing to non-paintball people, you know? Like playing whatever the hell that's called, Paintball Battleground. It's probably more appealing to people that don't play paintball, you know? I'd assume that like straight up console games or, you know, you're gonna freaking desktop stuff or PC games are probably going to be more appealing to actual paintball players. which I don't think there's probably enough of to facilitate entire games. And I am still getting like notifications that this is not working, and where YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't like that. So let me know if it's like weirding out or something. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it, honestly. Let me know in the chat, please. If anyone, say good, bad, no, maybe, something. Old Soul looks good. Some brains says looks bad. I don't know what to do, though, unfortunately. Everything's like good. I mean, I can restart the entire thing, but... Because normally we have more people here, too, so I'm curious if people are like... coming and going. Good, I don't know, whatever. We're just going to call it good. Eric EP with a $9.99 super chat, dude. You're freaking awesome. Sacramento Street Fighters 916. Like, subscribe, and buy merch. Yeah, buying merch like this hat is super helpful on this channel. That's for damn sure. And if anyone wants to, you can feel free to like the live streams. It's also very helpful. When people, like stuff, it actually kind of shows YouTube that people are watching this thing and they actually like it. Or leave comments after the fact. Commenting as well increases that engagement and then increases the impressions that I will get on YouTube. Eric, you're all amazing. Sorry. This happened last weekend on Sunday while we were... I'm going to click this YouTube video. I don't actually know where this leads me to. That's not what I wanted to look at. Hold on here. Let's just go there. Yeah, this last weekend was the conclusion or the final Hormesis Elite 1v1 tour. Golly, man, I got too many monitors set up and I'm using only one monitor, which is confusing. The Elite Tour. So if you guys aren't familiar, we'll recap this a little bit. This is ran by Oliver Lang. Oliver is, we'll say, partial owner of Hormesis or something like that. Oliver's super paintball famous. And he ran his own like one-on-one tour this year. And we're able to give out $10,000 to Tommy Greenleaf, that gentleman right there without the MF Doom mask on. He won. Let's just play. We'll play some of these. This is verbal. And you can find all these on the Hormesis Instagram page too. There's a link in the description to go find and actually watch these. Maybe like follow or whatever the hell they're calling on Instagram, their page. It's just really cool. I think that we're seeing, people win these tournaments or win events and stuff like that. But one of the things that I really wanted to see, there we go. We're seeing, even the pro teams win tournaments, right? And they win, $10,000 or whatever the NXL's giving for first place. But they're splitting that up between like 15 people. They got to split it between all the players. They have coaches. They might have other staff. And they kind of split all that money up. So they're not left with a lot of money at the end of the day. So what's really cool about the Elite Tour is that he's actually winning 10 grand. And as a young person, I think he's 21, 22. Being able to win that much money is really actually pretty cool. Hopefully we see it again next year and maybe more money. I know Planet Eclipse are out there. I think that he got a gun as well. I think Planet Eclipse gave him an LV2, which is really cool. And he's a lower divisional player too. So it's not like, I think he plays Division 2 in Boston. There he is right there in the finals. I think taking on Todd Boyer. It's just really cool. You know, being D2 also, he's probably not used to winning big tournaments. He's not used to like being in the limelight so much. So it's just really fun. It's really cool to see lower division guys win that. Like Chris Lasoya ended up help coaching him all weekend. And he didn't even know who Chris Lasoya was, which I find funny. Yeah, I think that there were pro teams going to look at him and try to like maybe get him on the team next year. It's really cool. Great stuff. There's a lot of videos over on that Hormesis channel, or the Hormesis Instagram page. Is he having like loader problems right there or something like that? It's kind of funny. He said he didn't wear elbow pads on the Spick and Span show this week. He was actually a guest on that show, and he said he didn't wear elbow pads because he's like, just that little fraction of an inch less is going to make you a smaller, tighter player. And, you know, you're not ever diving. You're not going to dive in this. And you're shooting each other from like 50 feet away, so it's unlikely you're going to get a bounce as well. So just not having elbow pads made it a little bit easier for him. It's great stuff. The conclusion of the Hormesis... Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. The conclusion of the Hormesis Elite Tour. We're going to say... You bet you. Bet you, guys. What else? What are you talking about in here? What division am I? I'm like Division 4 or something like that. And what team do you play for? I don't play on paintball teams. I think paintball teams are overrated. You know, I don't really want to play tournaments and stuff like that. So I don't really do that stuff. Jonathan says, am I the only person who want Field 1 to bring out a new marker? Definitely not. I mean, so many people want to see like, you know, so many people want to see them bring out the G7R or some type of poppet valve gun. I don't think they're going to very soon. I know that one of the things that really kind of helped Field 1 launch that force, like when they first originally released the force, was just kind of wrapping it up, right? All the guys had their guns taped up, and I think that the like mystery and like what it looked like and what it was going to be like really kind of helped them. And I think that that's something Yosh definitely wants to do in the future, is continue to do that, right? To show like potential customers that Dynasty is using them and actually testing the guns for real. And to kind of get a little bit of excitement and hype behind it. So I think that if we see a huge departure from the Force, like say the G7R or an entirely new gun, we would probably see that on the paintball field before it was ever released. So I think that when that day comes, right, when they release something new, we will probably see them field testing it before it's ever released. But I think that we are going to see a different version of the Force at World Cup as well. I don't think it's going to be a whole new gun, but maybe they change the foregrip up a little bit. Maybe there's different milling a little bit. Maybe they change the bolt slightly. I think that we'll probably see that, but I don't think we're going to see like the whole redesigned Force or anything like that. Maybe kind of think about it how like Planet Eclipse has done in the past when they've had like the Geo3. And then they came out with like the 3.1 and then the 3.5. You know, it's just a little bit of a difference. So maybe they'll just call it the Force 1.5 or like, I don't know. They could just call it version 2, I guess, if they want. But, yeah. Hey, Brad, what do you know about Push releasing a marker? Not all that much. I don't know. Do we still have... Let me see if I still have that stuff in here. I don't think so. Yeah, so we definitely know that Push are going to release something, right? I mean, I don't know when exactly. It should be probably pretty soon, though, because I think they're actually... some of the OG like 10-man Ironman guys are actually taking pre-orders and stuff on those already. I don't know what they're calling it, but we definitely know it's the RMAC made by Machine Paintball. Machine have made multiple guns in the past. They had the Vapor. I don't know. You guys can help me out, but I'm just blanking on all the machine guns. Yeah. So we know that. But I'm not sure when it's released or any like details like that, unfortunately. Old Soul, F1 should collab with Rocky and make a Dark Force. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I mean, I just like to see more like, you know, more of those cool private label milled guns in general. Did Mark just say, you just say Salam Alaikum? Salam Alaikum. Hello. Push isn't having a stand at World Cup, so they can focus on the market. I don't know what that means. Or marker? Marker. I don't know if that makes any sense. I feel like they should probably have a booth at World Cup, though. I mean, they have like masks and like teams they sponsor and stuff like that. So who knows? Some brains, is the stream choppy for anyone else? Yeah, I don't really know. I'm getting like signals that it is. Let me try. I'm going to try something really quick. Let me filters, noise compression. We're going to turn the noise compressor off to see if that helps. I don't know what it sounds like now, though. It shouldn't sound too much different. I would like to hear myself talk really fast. Okay. Because that just reduced the CPU usage by like 20% or something, so I don't know. The audio is good, video's frozen. Well, I don't know. All right. I think it should be good. Let's just leave it going and see what happens. You know, one thing is if you don't want to watch, like, I've always said, like, you know, some people don't want to watch this whole thing. You know, I get it. It's freaking long. So you can, if you want to, subscribe to Ruined Clips. The Ruined Clips channel is really just clips from previous live streams. So, like, I just put this Nova one out. You know, earlier this week we did the Overcore Barrel Kit video that came out. It's a massive 13 minutes long. But I think we're better now. It should be better. Or maybe not. I'm going to minimize this window and see what happens. I'm having all kinds of problems. All kinds of situations. You look like, do I look like Peter Gabriel from Sledgehammer, the video, the music video? No way. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's a beautiful song. Maybe not beautiful. It's a great song. Peter Gabriel's pretty cool. Connor Johnston, thoughts on hopper numbers? I wish they would come back for pro. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely helpful for commentators to have all those numbers. Dude, I cannot stand Adobe. Like, I got all this Adobe stuff running in the background. We're going to try to fix something else. Hopper numbers, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that at one point they actually served a purpose. Got all this, like, creative cloud shit running in the background. There's so much Adobe stuff that's just like lurking on my computer. We're just gonna close all that and see what happens. Yeah, I mean, at one point in time, those numbers on hoppers made a difference, right? I mean, that's because the NXL was, or the PSP, I should say, were keeping track of stats and stuff. So they kind of needed hopper numbers, right? So that you could easily identify players. And at this point, they're not even using stats. I mean, no one's keeping statistics anymore. So it's probably not useful directly for the NXL. I think for maybe for the announcing, it would be better to identify players easily. But I don't know. But I personally, I don't know any of their numbers. Like, I don't know the players' numbers, So I'm not ever going to be looking at those and being like, oh, number 42 is Jason or whatever, like, I don't know. I don't know. But hopefully, I mean, the NXL has talked about gambling, and apparently that's moving forward. But I definitely think that if they're going to be doing gambling, they're going to need to keep track of stats better. So certainly adding numbers to the side of hoppers, it might come back just because they got to keep track of the stats a little easier. I could see that happening for sure. Yeah. But other than that, I don't know why. Old Soul, Velcro numbers, for me, they have a malfunction and a need to swap markers fast. That is true. I mean, that was one of the problems, but I don't know if that's really happening all that much, though. I mean, nowadays the guns are so reliable. You're good. And I think that most of these players should have backups, right? I'd imagine that most of these guys have 2 full setups. I would have 2 full setups. I would have, one gun ready to go and then another one right there. So if this one screwed up, I'd just be like, I'll just grab this one. And you're ready to go. That's probably not necessarily the case with all the teams, but I'd like to think it is, at least. Who knows? I'm so weird about this stream health thing. I'm like on a mission to figure out why and what is going on here. OBS is just like using so much like computer power. I don't know. Mark says, you are unofficially a Sacramento Street Fighter member. That's true. I know. I think about paintball teams, though, and I don't want to be... I'm not on, like, a paintball team where we're, like, playing... I'm dedicated to a paintball team and we're playing tournaments every year. Like, the last paintball tournament I played was probably 8 years ago. Maybe longer. It was a very long time ago. So much long time ago. This is something that's kind of exciting. I think everyone kind of gets excited when this happens. When Committed Paintball or Twister Paintball, they have a new Instagram account. They're just calling it Twister PB. They're releasing something. There's a picture of it right there. Who knows what it is? My guess is the CS3, mainly because they actually have this picture too that's pretty much the body. I pretty much just looks like the CS3. And I'm assuming it's going to be very similar to the Twister wait, did I just see Twister CS3? Nope, that's just thing to their website. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be that exact same Twister milling, so it's going to look like that. Because that's what that picture looks like. How much are these bad boys going to be, though? I bet they're $2,200, maybe $2,300. They're going to be a boatload of money. So any of you guys out there that like to spend too much money on paintball guns, that's your one. And when are they going to come out? They're coming out like next week, like the 30th. There you go. 10, 30, 20, 23. There's going to be a Facebook Live event at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 p.m. That's really late. I guess not really. That's not. I was thinking 8:30 a.m. I'm like, what? And they're gonna actually be on sale at 9 o'clock p.m. I bet these things sell out. No idea how many they're making. I mean, I think that they've probably made, hundreds in the past, like 400 or somewhere in there. They're starting at $18.99, Dana says, followed by Rob at $1,900. One of you is probably right. That's not bad then. I mean, really, you got to think that the standard one's $1,750, so it's not really all that much more money. Normally these things are like $300 to $400 more. So seeing them only come in at $150 more, that's cool. That's not bad. I think I'd probably pay that much more for it. But when we start talking $400 and $500 more, you could buy a whole goddamn gun for that price. Some brains off rip. The new Lux hits with a twister and a project off rip at Cup 3000. Whatever that meant. They're making 200 each? Each of, what do you mean by each though? So they're making multiple guns? Or are they going to launch with 5 colors or something like that? I want to know what that means. Because if each, So Dana, CS3 and LV2, 200 each will be made. So I never saw the LV2 and CS3. Where'd you guys see that at? So I would bet that the 1900 is going to be for that LV2, not for... Oop, I'm going to look for something really quick. Not for the CS3. Mainly just because the LV2 is cheaper. The LV2 is a couple $100 cheaper. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that. Oh well. We'll see. LV2 and CS3. I just think are they really doing both? That would be a first. I think you'd find people, if they spaced them out, I think that if they sold 200 CS3s and then 3 or 4 months later came out with the LV2 version, I bet you'd get people trying to buy both. Or you'd probably try to buy both of them. So, what is the LV2? LV2s are 16, right? Yeah, LV2s are 16. So I wonder if it'll be 2150 or whatever for the CS3. They were live yesterday saying it? Oh, yesterday on Facebook? I don't know, I missed it. If it's happening on Facebook, I might miss it. Yeah. Ivan, do you feel like... Brad, do you feel like past 750 retail markers are mostly ergo preferences? My amp feels better than all the current high ends. I can't really see reliability being that much better on others. Yes and no. I think that for the most part, all these guns shoot the same, right? Whether you have, maybe you have a Magfed GT2, or you've got the amp, or you have a CS3. For the most part, they all shoot the same. There's going to be little differences in maybe one's a little quieter or kicks a little different or whatever. But for the most part, they're all the same. And I think it kind of matters, right? I think for some of the higher end prices, you definitely get more for your money, right? So let's compare the Lux and the amp, right? Definitely the Lux has all the coolest tool things, right? Like the solenoid, and you can take apart the frame, or you can remove the frame without tools. There's some things that you actually get for spending more money. But for the most part, it's kind of just features and little things. It's not going to necessarily make the gun perform any better. So I do kind of think that, right? It's kind of just ergonomic preference, I can't stand the amp. It's just too small for me. I want the grips to be a little larger. So I like the kind of bigger style guns, maybe like that LV2 that's bigger. So it is kind of just ergonomic preference at some point, kind of just which one feels better in your hand. But also you're kind of getting a little bit better, like maybe quality or a few features that make it nicer. But it's probably not double the features, right? I mean, you're paying pretty much double the price when you compare the amp and say a TM40. They're double the price. And the same thing with Planet Eclipse for the most part. I mean, you could say the 180R is pretty much double the price of that CS3. But I wouldn't say that you're getting double the amount of features, we'll say. So kinda, Sean, does GI still sell the JT Triad? Nope. I mean, technically they never did. I mean, I think that, you know, people have the Triad and they've made quite a few of them, but they were never actually like shipped to retailers and stuff to actually sell the things. It's crazy that like there's tons of like websites where it's like pre-orders and all kinds of stuff. There's videos online of the Triad, but it's still kind of elusive. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. I've heard so much different stuff. Like at one point, they said they were going to be out this year. I mean, I've heard multiple times, right? We heard 3 years ago they were going to be out. But apparently they're ready, but then that doesn't really make any sense to me why all the pro teams have been using, you know, halos, which is just kind of crazy. So who knows? Sean, that's what I thought. You only saw them for pre-order the whole time they were advertised. Yeah, it's been like 3 years of them like trying to like advertise and sell those hoppers, which is kind of crazy, you know? It's just a little wild. My back hurts today. Oh, man. Steven Jackson! Not Steven Johnson. With that $1.99 super chat. Thank you. I just got my headband in the mail. Thanks, Brad. You betcha. I recognize your name. And I shipped them a little slower than normal, too. Sorry. You should have had it on Saturday, probably, if you just got it today. I mean, I'd have liked you to have it on Saturday. Normally, I'll just ship stuff the day after, but I got a little sidetracked. My teammates were on the Triad commercial. Oh, really? I actually kind of like the Triad. I really like... It's a little higher capacity. So, like... I was going to say, grab this. This is the control, and it's about as tall as the control, which I really like. So you can kind of look over the hopper a little bit. And then they have these, like, it has these, like, cutouts on the side, which actually make it kind of easier to look down the side of the hopper. I feel like it provides a little bit of a better angle to kind of, like, see over the hopper, how it cuts in a little bit on the edges. They're really long, though. I mean, I'd say the thing's probably about that long. But holding, I think, 220 or 230 paintballs, where these are like 170 or 180. So it's really long, but really low profile. They're actually not bad. I mean, it feels well made. The buttons are really nice on them. It comes apart really easy, and the internals are really nice. So it's one of the things, like, I don't quite understand why it's taken them so long to come out with a thing, because it's just like a Halo or like a Magna or a Scion or, you know, all those other hoppers that they've come out with in the past, just kind of like repackaged into a new body. Benny says he's wearing my headband next weekend, Brad. Well, have fun. You know, more people can buy headbands if you want. You could head over to the Paintball Ruined My Life store. There. There's all kinds of headbands on there. They're $30. Very good deal in today's economy. Average paintball headband's probably like $470 now. So for 30 bucks, it's a good deal. You can get 3 of them for $75. And everything in the store, if you live in the continental, well, actually, if you live in the United States, any order over $30 is going to ship for free. So, one headband, you order a single headband and it'll ship for free. It's pretty good. I mean, it helps this channel dramatically. Without you guys, without the support from you guys through everything, through watching videos, just subscribing to the channel and liking videos and watching stuff is amazing. But even better, when people buy stuff or do super chats, it's the only way that this thing is going to survive is with you guys helping. Unless you want me to become like Planet Eclipse sponsored channel, which I'm not saying I wouldn't. But it probably won't be as exciting, All those headbands, and there are shitloads of barrel covers. I mean, look at all these barrel covers you can buy. And everybody needs barrel covers. You might not need a headband, but, having some extra barrel covers around, this one came off the hook, is probably not a bad idea. The 3 for $75 hasn't been working for me. Really? I know I screwed it up the other day, actually, and it was like password locked or something like that. Let me double check. Let's just pull it over so everyone can watch me. Well, you're not going to go to the admin area. We're not going to show that. I feel like this shouldn't be there. Well, maybe it should be. Merch store. Bam, there they are. Yeah, at one point I, for some reason, password protected it on accident. I don't know what the heck I did. And these images do not work on Firefox. I talk about this every live stream. At some point I'm going to change it. Yeah, all you got to do is go through and pick the ones you want and kablingo. It's that easy. Yeah, but at one point I screwed up and didn't... oh, what in the hell? That is definitely not what we want it to look like. That is for sure. We're going to screenshot that so I know that is not good. But we're going to fix that later. But you can get headbands. The checkout looks insane right now, but, I appreciate everybody. I got 3-pack bandana set. Let's go. Headbands or bandanas? Yo, yo. All right, what else are we going to talk about? I'm going to talk about... Let's go chat room. Give me something. Giovanni says I'm the best... He says best paintball reviewer. I don't know. Maybe you think I am? Or are you asking me? What else are you running right now besides the Etha? Me? I don't have... Me? Well, I don't have an Etha. I use the EMEC pretty much every time. I mean, I have an Etha 3M, but I'm actually going to give it to somebody. And, yeah. But I use the EMEC all the time. I love the EMEC. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, I think that if I was to buy something right now, it'd probably be the Etha 3M. I do have to buy an on-off for mine. I definitely needed that. I don't have anything else. I primarily use the EMEC like literally every time I play paintball. If I'm not like reviewing some other gun, I'm using the EMEC, right? I mean, like I have used the CS3 a handful of times because I did that mechanical frame review. So I had the CS3 for about a month and I used that. And, I don't know. I review guns a lot, so I'll just use those for a while. And I'm not playing like any tournaments or anything important, right? I just kind of go play rec ball. So I don't really find a need or a reason for me to have anything different or better either. I mean, the EMEC completely stock is fine with me. Yep. Nothing exciting. I mean, I have a couple other paintball guns. They don't really work, and I'd never use them. but I do technically own them. Yup. Do I ramp with the EMEC? No, because ramping, you know, is only an electronic gun, so you can't really do it. The EMEC is just badass, and yes, an on-off is a great thing to have. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my gun, though, specifically. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. The ASA is all wacky, and every time I screw a tank on it, it cuts the O-rings. So I actually stole it off my EMF 100 right back there, to, you know, be able to put a friggin' tank on. I heard that CCM is dropping some more pumps. I don't know. I was talking about CCM this weekend. You know, I don't know. I always get their guns confused. Like, there's like the J2 and the Series 5 and Series 6 and the 6.5, and like, there's too many versions for me. I've always lost track of like exactly what CCM guns are which. I mean, you can tell some of them apart. Like, you can tell like the T2 and stuff. That's pretty easy. But don't ask me. Do I run the stock barrel on the EMEC? That I don't do. I actually use the ETHA 3 barrel. Nope, that's the stock barrel for the EMEC right there. Not that one. Not that one. There's a TIPX stock barrel for a TIPX. Curious. Not that one. I don't know. It's around here somewhere. The stock barrel for the ETHA 3, or like the ETHA 2, or 170R, 180R. That's what I use. What do you think of that HK Valve piece for full auto? Yeah, HK Army released their full auto valve. I forget exactly what they're calling that. For the EMEC. And really it's kind of interesting because Paintball Gateway released a version of it before them. And then HK Army did. And, you know, I actually thought about doing it. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. It'd be sweet to have like full auto and just be like single shot and stuff. Because if you know, normal pull it, it's still only going to be like, you know, semi-auto. And I was like, that'd be really cool. But then Planet Eclipse released like this statement online that said they didn't really like it. And like, there's a reason why they have not made their guns full auto like that in the past. And, you know, it's not covered under some insurance and it's technically not very safe. And then I was like, yeah, that's true. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of neat, but it's definitely not very safe. I mean, you know, we have full auto on the electronic guns, but it requires you to kind of pull the trigger 3 times and then it's full auto, right? It's somewhat like the NXL ramping mode where you have to like shoot fast for a second and then it'll go into full auto. Whereas, you know, the EMEC is just like real full auto. You hold the trigger down, it's shooting. And it definitely could be... Cade Awesome says that HK bought it from them. That's good. I kind of thought so. Someone told me they were like making them for them and selling them to them. I don't know. But it's real full auto, you know? So like if you fall and like you fall on the gun, it's just going to be like just like shoot like crazy if you're holding the trigger down. Whereas those electronic guns, if they're in, you know, full auto and electronic full auto, you hold the trigger down and nothing happens because you have to pull it a couple times and then you can go to full auto. Yeah. Would that valve do any damage to it? No, I don't think so. I mean, all it's doing is kind of allowing more air to come out or something. It's just what am I looking for? It's like diverting air or like something air somewhere else, so that it kind of like, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I don't know. But it'd be highly unusual, I'd say, if it was going to cause damage. Because you're not really doing anything. You're not like increasing the pressures at all. It's not electronic, so you're not like interfering necessarily with anything. And there's really nothing to break, you know. There's nothing in there that's going to break. Redirecting, there we go. There we go. Recycling? Yeah, maybe. See, I don't even know. I'm not sure exactly where the like air goes or what they're actually doing with the air. I haven't really thought about it that much. I don't know. I'd have to think about it more. 2-bit. This is why I have a great electronic gun, the Ether 3, and a great mechanical gun, the Shocker CVO. And also my EMEC. My Tippman TMC and Tippman 98. Yeah, those are good. I got my Tippman A5. Bang, bang. I got an A5 somewhere around here. My A5 works. My A5 works. EMEC RT, yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, full auto isn't safe, and I'm like, the closest thing that we have to full auto that a manufacturer is selling is probably the response trigger for like the Tippmans and stuff like that. Hey, Brad, do you play Magfed? No, I don't. I've never ever played Magfed. I would play Magfed, you know. It's just, I don't know. There's nowhere really for me to do it. I'd really like to try to play with First Strike. I think that this coming year, I would like to try to go to Super Game, and I want to try to use First Strike at Super Game, because I think that's kind of the whole purpose of, like, you know, Magfed to me is that I can play with First Strike. Just playing with regular round ball is not that intriguing to me. Although it's fun, you know, I could see it being fun. I've never actually played Magfed, so yeah. K. Perry, I believe Paintball Gateway is a huge HK dealer. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Paintball Gateway is one of the, I don't know, we'll say top 5 paintball stores in the U.S. Paintball Gateway is a huge HK dealer. Most of their products are HK, and their team is HK sponsored. Oh, okay. Yeah, Paintball Gateway has actually been associated with HK for a long time. A very long time. I remember they had a team back in the day that was, I don't know, I'm just envisioning HK back in the day. I don't know. The rocking trigger. The rocking trigger is the dumbest thing ever. It never made any sense. So, like, you know, think about it, right? So you have, instead of the trigger pivoting like this, the trigger pivots in the middle instead of at the top. So there's a micro switch here and a micro switch here. So hits the micro switch, fires, hits the micro switch, fires. So it goes like this. It pivots right here. Micro switch, micro switch, micro switch. Instead of it pivoting like this and hitting a micro switch, right? But if you think about it, right, when you're shooting that rocking trigger, even if that trigger, you know, pivots, you know, in the middle, so it pivots like this, you're still using both fingers, right? You push it back, and then you hit it again, and you're still like doing this thing, right? Whereas if the trigger swings at the top, you're still doing this, right? So you still hit it once. You still like end up touching the trigger the exact same way. And it's not really any different. You're not going to be able to shoot faster with it. If anything, it's slower because that pivots in the middle. You have to hit the trigger way at the top. You can't have your fingers close together. You have to like have them all separated. It's freaking wacky. The rocking trigger was always weird. It always sounded neat. I think that like new players kind of just thought it was cool, you know? It didn't make any sense. Old Soul, I always wanted to try one, but never saw one in the wild. Always felt my fingers would be too far spread apart. Yeah, it's true, because you can't walk it like normal. We'll grab this thing. You know, you can't like put your fingers close to like together and walk it like this. You literally have to keep them like far apart and go like all crazy. It's ridiculous. I think that they were only ever on the Spiders, or maybe there was like an aftermarket frame back in the day that was like that. I don't know. What about sliding triggers instead of a rocking trigger on a mechanical Magfed gun? Like autocockers? So it's like, you know, it moves back like an autococker rather than like a hinging trigger. I don't know. I don't know if I really like the, I don't know if I really like the sliding trigger frames. I mean, I'm kind of used to it, but I think that ergonomically having that like hinge style frame is probably easier to shoot faster. But I don't like the slider frames. I know some people do. It's like when Planet Eclipse released the G-Mech frame for the G-Tech, it was a slider frame, and I didn't like it. I mean, the gun shot fantastic, but I really didn't like that sliding trigger frame. Automag response frame, 1 pull, 2 shots. Yep, the RT, the response trigger. Yep. I really would like a response trigger. I would like a response trigger for my A5. The Spider VS3. I don't know if the VS3 had it. Did the VS3 have it? It might have been on the Spider Phoenix. No, dude. If we just search Spider rocking trigger frame. Oh. I'm losing my handle. It's just going to be a bunch of like guns though, or just a bunch of frames. The Electra, for sure. So it was on the Electra. It might have just been on the Electra, but Spider definitely sold them the Spider RT, a gun I've never heard of. It's weird. Yeah, I think the Electra was the most popular, the gun that it came on mostly, it looks like. The Spider Electra. But now doesn't A&S? Now A&S Gear owns Spider, so who knows what's going to happen. Probably nothing. The VS3. Some brains. We had dudes cutting cocker frames and putting double trigger shoes on them. They dragged in the slot and sucked hinge frames. Yeah, especially on that double trigger, because you're putting too much, like, you know, pressure on your lower finger probably, and then like it's tilting a little bit when you're pushing back, I would think. But man, you cutting the trigger guard off, you can't really like play much without a trigger guard, right? Remember the double trigger slider frames? That's crazy. Who knows? Are you team tube is tube? I don't know. Nope. If that's some internet thing, I don't know. Connor Johnston. Thoughts on the new Tippman entry level marker? I feel like it's tough for Tippman as Planet Eclipse just has better markers now for the entry. What did they call that thing? Is it like the Vantage or whatever? Vantage? The Vantage. Yeah, that thing's terrible. I mean, it's really just a Tippman Griffin in a different body, or like an updated cool body. Yeah, I don't like those guns. They had like or they still do, have like a brass tube on the inside that actually takes the air from the, like, you know, ASA into the valve. And those guns are just a big piece of like hard, cheap plastic. So they feel awful. They kick like crazy and they like vibrate when they shoot. But for $100, I mean, you know, it's not too bad. Whereas, you know, you said the EMEC, I mean, the EMEC's Planet Eclipse's cheapest gun, and I mean, it's 3 times the price of that. So If you want a $100 paintball gun, it's probably the best option, you know, but then you can spend an extra $25 and buy like a Tippman Cronus or like the Tippman Stormers. And those are way, way, way better. And they're really only $25 more. I actually really like the Stormer and I really like the Cronus. It's like, you know, I really like the way my Tippman A5 shoots. I think that those guns actually don't shoot that bad, you know, but I mean, you know, so the EMAC is considerably better, so it's hard. I saw that new Tippman. It's horrible. Yeah. Yep, it's just a rebranded Griffin. Yeah. It's just like they put a new body on it and called it something else. Loved my Z-frame on my old RT. So when you were like shooting like something like that, like, no, I guess you were like, I don't know, the Z-frame, Auto Mag Z frame. Yeah, guys, this is. Oh, let's put it over here. You guys need to get this. Look at that bad boy. And these are really good-looking guns, though. This is the Z frame. Look at that bad boy. That looks like a micro mag or something. Look at that color. That's a good-looking one. What is that? An Impulse? What in the hell is that? I could have done this a different way. What in God's name is that? I don't know. It looks like an Impulse. I'm pretty sure it's an Impulse, but I've never seen that frame before on an Impulse. Golly. Having so many problems with, like... I got too many monitors open. Too many windows. Some people called it the Y frame. That is the Z frame, right? I'm not crazy. The Automag Z frame. Oh, there was the Y frame. What was the difference? Look at Dan Bocci. Dan Bocci's the man. Dan knows like everything about paintball. Let's go all these Automag frames he's got through. Not a lot. It's a BKO. You sure? I mean, I don't even know. I don't even remember what the BKO looks like. Is it this one even? No, that's definitely an Impulse. Definitely an Impulse, yeah. It's definitely an Impulse. Because it even has the, like, you know, LPR mod dealio. And you can see that little dealio right there. And it has a Smart Parts barrel on it. WGP reg. I've never seen that electric frame, though, on that thing. Ooh, look at that thing. What the hell is on top of it? A scope, maybe? It's got that center flag electronic frame. Look at that. The Y? Dude, I don't remember this stuff, really. I definitely remember these frames, though, on Automags. But I don't ever think I've seen a Cocker one, like a Cocker frame like that. Yeah, look at that super small picture. Anyway, freaking old stuff. Damn, it reminds me. Damn, I remember Indian Creek. Heck yeah, they made the ICD. Who made the freestyle? Remember the freestyles? The like, was that Indian Creek too? Oh gosh. I guess so, yeah. So this is a gun that, I don't know, never was really popular. The freestyle. I even remember the Naughty Dogs. The Naughty Dogs were going to use these things. There's one right there. They were going to use these crazy ass things at one point. I never really caught on. God, look, they had a bunch of different versions of it. I mean, it looks pretty good, honestly. It looks kind of cool. That silver one looks cool. He likes his. He's excited. This is a brand new video, too. Some internal workings, sort of, with some squiggly red parts. The freestyle, it was not that exciting. Go freestyles. I hear like water dripping or something. Oh yeah, the FEP Quest. Wasn't it just like it was kind of just like a rip-off of the Shocker though, right? I don't even remember much about the like freestyle. I mean, it was like 20 years ago, so it was a little hard to remember. I also had the UK Automag ripoff, the Colonial. What? I don't know anything about that. The Colonial? Huh. I mean, they couldn't even tell you the difference though, unfortunately. They just look, it looks like an Automag. Huh. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. Paintball gun history. Paintballhistory.com. Huh. The Colonial is a UK product, a UK produced semi-auto, which is a near identical clone of the airgun design Automag. The main differences are the lack of the Z-lock pin and the milled aluminum frame, which are also occasionally seen on earlier Brass Eagle semis. Huh. Well, learned something new today. Thank you, whoever the heck that was. That's crazy. Walther or Walter? I don't know. Imagine if we had to screw our tanks into regs like that. Like what? I didn't even pay attention. I'm totally used to it. Like this? Like that cool... That's an expansion chamber. I'm like pretty sure that's an expansion chamber. Because that's when we were all using CO2 and they like... Yeah, it's expansion. So it was there so that it added extra volume. So that if you got liquid CO2 into there, it would expand into gas. Yep, and Pollock. Pollock is spelled P-A-W-L-K. Had a valve for the mag. Really? I don't know. I don't think so. I worked for O. I didn't work for O that long though. I worked for O for maybe like a year and a half or 2 years. And then because I worked at the paintball store he owned, and then he actually sold the store to someone. I know that they used to take Automags to like Australia and stuff, and they used to sell Automags for like $3,000 in the 90s in Australia. Crazy. Ivan. Enough old stuff. I'm with you. What do you think about the future? Well, I don't know. Give me a topic. I mean, I think that, what I think we should do is we just elected this new Speaker of the House, and he thinks that like creationism is real. So he thinks that like humans were walking around with dinosaurs, or like that dinosaurs aren't real or something like that. I think that as a country, if we're going to have people like that as our leaders, we should full on go behind them. So I think that we should make every school Christian. We should close all the museums. We should close all the research facilities. Like, so let's just go full force full on into creationism. Because we don't need, it's the past. Who cares? It doesn't matter. All that matters is people lived with dinosaurs. It's truth. Connor Johnston, 3K is what the CS3 costs here in Australia. Yeah, but I was talking about like American dollars. Australian dollars are different. So it doesn't really cost. It costs 3,000 Australian. You know how much it cost in Zimbabwe? Let's say 1750 USD to, I don't know what Zimbabwe's currency is. Let's see, if we were to convert that in Zimbabwe, you'd need $633,325. Like it's just different. It's just different. The future of paintball gun tech. What do you want to see happen? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I mean, for so long, the only thing I wanted was more reliability, right? And we've gotten to the point where these guns are so reliable. Everything's quiet. Everything shoots smooth. Everything's easy on paint. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that the only thing that I would like to see is just stuff get cheaper. And we've kind of been seeing that, though, right? You got to think that just, 10 years ago, having something like the Ether 3 or EMAC or the Ether 3M was kind of a rare thing. I mean, we had the Axe. They were okay. But now these Ethas, I mean, they shoot just as good or just as well as any of those higher-end guns. So I don't know. I mean, we've gotten that super reliability, and we've gotten stuff a little bit cheaper. I mean, high-end guns are, still expensive, but that lower-end and mid-range stuff is really, really, really good now. What I really want to see is, I've been looking for this online. I looked a couple weeks ago for these. Like the gel blasters, how they have like the Orbeez and stuff, and they're like this big, and you can get like 2,000 of them for like $8, and you just put them in water and they expand. I would really, really, really like to see some company make 68 caliber Orbeez that we could use for practice somehow. Maybe they're a little bit thicker. Maybe they take a little bit longer to like absorb all that water. Maybe you got to leave them in overnight or something like that. But I would really, really like to see 68 caliber Orbeez so we could use them for target practice and stuff rather than shooting normal paint. I don't think that they're going to work so much as far as playing goes because they don't really mark, there's just water inside of there. But I think it'd be really cool if we saw 68 caliber Orbeez. Imagine being able to buy a case of paint for like $12 or like $8 or $10 or something like that versus like, $50 now. It'd be really cool, and I'd love to see it. Connor Johnston, thoughts on Hinman leaving AC Dallas? I was watching the Play the Game podcast actually today. I was listening to that, and I think that Mike Hinman kind of went into detail, really, about the reason he left AC Diesel. And apparently, I think he was coaching for free. I do not believe they were paying him. He coached, 3 tournaments or 2 tournaments? And then left fairly quickly. Mike Hinman's super smart. So we'll say this, right? Like, Mike Hinman's super smart and knows more about paintball, than I ever will. It knows more about paintball than like 99% of the people playing paintball. He certainly knows what he's talking about when it comes to pretty much everything paintball, whether it's, how you should run D5 tournaments or how you should coach pro teams. He pretty much knows what he's talking about. And I think in the past when Mike Hinman coached teams, when one of the problems I think he would sometimes have is he gets just too excited. And he kind of lets that like emotion come out too much. And I think for some players, that yelling and like frustration doesn't work well. Like I know for me, I wouldn't respond well to that. I definitely tell me what I'm doing wrong, but don't talk to me, don't yell at me and stuff. But I definitely think that over the years, it feels like, at least from the outside, at least maybe, that he's definitely changed quite a bit as he's gotten older, right? And just calmed down more and not having those big outbursts of emotion anymore. But I still think that on AC Diesel, I think that he said one of the problems is that he was, telling people what they were doing wrong, but no one really wanted to be accountable and no one wanted to listen. So it was difficult from his side, trying to like hold people accountable and get people to do their jobs and like, practice more during the week and take fitness more seriously. I don't think they were doing that for him. So it was a little bit difficult from his side. And I think that the players didn't like, or he said he thinks that some of the players didn't like to be held accountable, and they were just complaining about it. And that was one of the reasons that Mark Johnson, the owner of AC Diesel, let him go, was mainly just because people were complaining about it, which is crazy. You'd think that at that level, right? I mean, those guys are really, really, really pro. I mean, they're as pro as you can get in paintball. I mean, a lot of the people on that team are making a good amount of money just playing paintball, right? They don't have to work other jobs. They're just playing paintball. So not being able to take criticism when you're at that high level is not good, right? Especially from people that know what they're talking about. It's not me. It's not me giving you advice. I mean, sure, blow me off. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. But Mike Hinman certainly knows what he's talking about. I mean, he's coached plenty of teams that have won tournaments. He helped bring up some of the best players in paintball. I mean, Rainey, Mouse, Marcelo, all played under him with Aftermath back in the day. So he definitely knows what he's talking about. So, I don't know. That was a little big rant. Ivan, outside of Go Sports and media, how else do you think paintball can get people to stick to the past? What? Hold on. Outside of Go Sports and media, how else do you think people can get people? How else do you think paintball can get people to stick to it past the birthday party type experience? That was a perfect sentence. I'm sorry I suck at reading. Is media the only way? One of the things that I don't really agree with a lot of growing paintball thing is I think that, the industry, I've talked about this forever. I think that the industry as a whole, right, when we're talking about everybody, when we're talking about like, Planet Eclipse and GI and HK Army and whoever, right? I think that they're all trying to like funnel us and get us to play tournament paintball. And it's nearly impossible, right? I think the average person that plays paintball, maybe goes to a birthday party or maybe goes and rents stuff their first time. So their first experience is renting stuff, playing with rentals, and great. Everything's organized and you've got a referee out there being like, okay, we're going to go over here and we're going to go do this and meet over here in 5 minutes. And, they're organizing everything. So I think that aspect most of the time goes pretty well, right? And then maybe that person at that birthday party really liked it. So next month they come back out and they rent stuff. And then they go another time. And then they're finally like, you know what? I'm going to buy a paintball gun. So they buy an Etha 3. Maybe they buy an Axe. They buy a Mini GS. They spend $1,000 on their setup. And they continue to play rec. They're going to play over the hyperball field. And, you're going to play on the big mounds field, or you're playing in the woods somewhere. And then eventually, after like 10 times of doing that, you're like, man, I'd really like to go play airball. I think that airball stuff looks really fun. That speedball looks really cool. And I think most of the paintball fields, right, past that point, no one knows what to do, right? You're like, I want to go play airball. And I know for sure here in Northern California, whether I go to Capitol Edge, I go to Davis Paintball, I go to Fairfield, I go to whatever paintball fields are out there, if I'm a new player, I'm not going to play airball, right? Because you go to those places and it's like there's a team, there's a team, there's a team. Everyone's on teams. So the only way to actually play is have a 5-man team. And like, that's just ridiculous. There needs to be a better way to get these people, if that's what we want, right? If we want these newer players to play tournaments and continue playing paintball in that format, there has to be a better way at the actual paintball field to help these people do that. And at this point, there isn't. It's like you go to the airball field and you just stand there because, like, I don't know what to do. Like, there's one ref and he's not really doing anything. He's kind of just standing around. They're really just starting the game and they're not really even reffing, you know? They're not like organizing people or doing anything. So it's like, what do we expect people to do? Be like, of course there's a big drop off. Of course people like just kind of quit. You know, that's the reason I quit playing airball. I don't even go over there and try, right? Because we're just going to end up standing around a bunch because, you know, I don't have a team and I got to try to weasel my way on the field and like push my way onto play. There's no organization for it at all. So I think that, like, you know, it's cool, you know, that we're trying to get on TV and they're trying to like push media stuff more. You know, maybe there'll be a Hulu TV show or something. But then it's like, yeah, okay, then the people go play paintball, but then they don't know what to do after that. It's like there's no like, it's just ridiculous. I don't know what the answer to that is. I think that the real answer is probably have more of these manufacturers try to help facilitate that. Be like, hey, do this, you know, if we have a sign-up board, or maybe like once a month we have, or, you know, every Saturday it's like rec only or something like that. Because it's literally impossible. It's just impossible, you know? I mean, I can go, at this point, you know, I don't really have that problem because there's enough people there where at least I can like try to find, you know, 5 guys to play with. But if I'm just like, you know, Brad, you know, 20 years ago when I'm like 18 years old, like, I don't know anyone. Like, what do I do? You know, the only way I ever got on a team was like my mom was talking to some other mom and like she had 2 boys and they're like, oh, well, let's make a 3-man team. And it's like, okay. But if it weren't for that interaction, I don't know if I'd have ever played tournaments or done anything. So I think that I want more people to play paintball, not just watch paintball, because that's how the industry is going to grow, is if people are actually playing and buying stuff and going to paintball fields and doing all that stuff. Yeah. There's that spiel. Some brains. I'd be more entertaining if they played on fields like Hollywood Sports Park or SC Village. I don't know what that means. Mark, what was that team called? That team was called the Grease Monkeys. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this cool thing. It says G Monkey. So it's funny, the Grease Monkey team name, it was because Daniel and David Breezy, 2 brothers, they played 2-man. In the first tournament they played in coveralls, so they looked like mechanics, hence Grease Monkeys. I don't know what the heck 42 is for, though. I don't know how I got a 42. But this is my first paintball jersey. And I'm so tall, like I'm big, right? This is a extra large, and I had to cut the sleeves off because it wouldn't fit me. It was like this on my arms. It's like, that's not going to work. Grease Monkeys. This is a Rodonto jersey under there. That's a classic paintball jersey. A classic Northern California paintball team right there. There's like, I probably have like, I don't know, maybe like 10 paintball jerseys that I will never sell. I'm gonna go put this back right here. Oh yeah. Sheesh! You should wear that in your what are they? Wait, what? You should do a where are they now video. I don't know about what though. The liquid jersey is pretty cool. That was it liquid or bubble? It might have been the bubble. They might have called it the bubble one. There's just something nostalgic about any JT blue jersey. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've got a bunch of them, but they're all actually all folded up behind a cabinet in this closet. So I can't really get to them easy. Yeah. I'm just getting a single custom jersey. What manufacturer is your favorite? You know, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you for custom jerseys and stuff. I don't know. I would probably say Weapons. W-E-P-N-Z? Weapons? Weapons? I just put it in the chat. I think that's how you spell it. That's Todd Martinez's company. It used to be Raza, but then they kind of changed it up a little bit. Hollywood Sports Park in Bellflower, California is a sad joke of a paintball field that is run by high school students who couldn't care less. Sadly, to play in LA and have a decent experience, you have to drive out of town. I don't know. I'm in SC Village and last time I was there was 2006. 2007, I don't know. Hell, a long time ago. Is it SC Village? SC Village is coming back, though. SC Village is putting in a lot of money. I mean, one of the biggest problems with LA, and a lot of places, honestly, is just that the suburbs just keep encroaching. So getting land is so expensive. I mean, you know, to have a good amount of land, I mean, you need at least 35 acres to 30 acres to have a good amount of size at a paintball field. And that's a lot of land, you know, that's like millions of dollars. So it's just difficult to do it. Yeah. Isaac, completely agree with your statement about getting people out to play. And on top of that, there always going to be some level of toxicity. Well, yeah, that's just people. People are idiots. You know, I think for the most part, I don't really see that playing rec, though. You know, playing rec, it's there's way more funness going on. Everyone's just kind of there to have fun. And you know, it's just we're there to have fun, and no one really cares so much. You definitely get the crazy guy, you know, yelling and stuff on the airball field. Those people are, it's a more aggressive game, right? You're getting shot more and it's faster paced. So you're just getting that more adrenaline rush and that excitement. And sometimes that can, you know, come out as people yelling or just kind of being assholes. But I don't know, at least Capital Edge where I play, we don't really see that on the rec fields because it's kind of obvious we're all there having fun. We're joking around before the start of the games and just kind of messing around. You know, every once in a while someone will get mad, but we kind of make fun of them and then they realize they're dumb and stop. Comp Paintball. Did you check out the WCPPL? I tried to watch it. I tried to watch the live stream. But that Will Ball for Soup guy's on the announcing and made me want to kill myself. I cannot handle that guy. I mean, I can't listen to him talk for more than 10 seconds. It makes my ears bleed and I feel like my soul is leaving my body. So I wanted to watch it, but I really didn't watch it. I paused it, I muted it, but then I was this is stupid. It's cool, the drone footage. The drone footage was kind of good, although it was although the drone was I don't know. I was why isn't it stable? It felt like it was rocking back and forth. Everything looked great. I didn't really like the announcing. And I think the announcing is literally the most important part. Yep. Probably the most important part. I mean, that's kind of why they pay these NFL announcers, like millions and millions of dollars, like Joe Buck and like Troy Aikman and Tony Romo. Is he still doing that? Those guys get paid the big bucks because it actually makes the viewing experience watchable, like, I don't know. Anyway, oh man, it was just I don't know. Would you ever do commentating if the NXL asked you? Probably not. I think that I would go sit in the booth if I was at a tournament. I'd sit up there for like an hour and then I'd be like, peace guys. But there's no way. I could not imagine like talking as much as they do. Dude, like Matt Marshall, like comp paintball, we were talking about something similar. But I can't imagine, Matt Marshall. Dude, he talks for like so long. I mean, games start at like 7 and they end at like 5. Like, could you imagine just talking for that long? Like, it's exhausting. I mean, doing these live streams for like an hour and a half, 2 hours is tiring. I mean, really, just thinking nonstop and like just going and going. And he has to do that for like 9 to 10 hours every day. Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. He's better at talking than I am too, so. Paintball's golden era was 2005 and 2005 to 2006. The best electronic markers were out. That's certainly not true. 2005, 2006, that was the peak of like Intimidator. And those guns sucked. Like, looking back, like, they were like loose and like rattly. And like, they didn't really shoot that well. My EMEC shoots better than any gun out right then in 2005, 2006. I mean, the die guns shot pretty well, like DM5, DM6 and stuff. Those guns were actually pretty good. But man, the new guns shoot so much better. But we probably were like golden era paintball at that time. I probably agree with that. Maybe the paintball guns were more interesting. They were certainly more interesting back then, just because we had more manufacturers doing stuff. I mean, we had a Planet Eclipse and like all the Intimidators, and Angel were still around, and there was just more variety. Now it's like just buy an Eclipse gun. Pretty much what everybody just does. Yeah, because I mean, 2005, 2006, that's when I played in the PSP and stuff. That's when I was like really playing paintball. Or the Hostile Creations Rogue. I don't know. Whatever happened to Vanguard? I don't know, honestly. Like the Vanguard Creed? Was it? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, some of those companies were so small, and I never really even... I don't even know if I ever touched one. Yeah, I probably have. I just don't remember. It's so long ago. CP Flame Drop Forest. I wonder if I have one. No, I don't have one. No, I don't have one. I thought I might have had one. Or maybe I do. No, I don't have one. Sheldon! Like a turtle. Ooh, Trauma-Head sports videos. The guy... No, how'd he sound? He sounded like Trauma-Head Sports. Something like that. I can't do it. It kind of sounded like the ESPN guy. It's Trauma-Head Sports. Ooh, the Excalibur. I want to find an Excalibur. Yeah, I always found those guns intriguing, but I never owned one. They always felt like really complicated to me, because when the AKA guns, like the Excalibur and the, what's the other one? The AKA, there was the Excalibur and, hit me up, chat. Someone tell me in the chat. The Excalibur and something else. They were just like big and kind of like menacing at the time. It's like right when I got into paintball, well, not like right then, but like, I was newer to paintball. And those guns were like menacing and stuff. Excalibur? What's the other one? Come on. The Viking. There we go, Jared. It was like right there. The Viking. Yeah, they were just kind of like weird to me for some reason. I don't know. Cade, have you had a chance to shoot the GT2? No, I have not. They're just not around, you know? I mean, I'm sure someone's had one at the field when I've been there, but I've not noticed. Not a lot of paintball stores sell them, you know? The stores around me, they don't sell them, so I haven't really, like, you know, felt one in real life, and I don't know. Sheldon, thoughts on Bunker Kings dropping the ball on the clearish loaders? I got an email to send mine back for replacement. That's good. I don't know. We talked about that last week, right? Not that. There's the actual hoppers. I thought I had like the Instagram thing I saw. I mean, it sucks that they, you know. Okay, what I don't understand is like, it's great that they're taking care of it. It's great, you know. I mean, it's good that they're like helping out their customers who, you know, bought stuff and spent money. And they were like, oh, we didn't know they were this bad. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, those hoppers come assembled in a box. And like, they weren't assembled. When they shipped all those hoppers, they were like in individual bags. So like your top shell was in a bag, and then the bottom shell was in a bag, and the internals were in a bag. And you're like, why are they in a bag? It's very weird. So they had to have known they were weird before they shipped them, because they weren't even assembling the hoppers. They were like not assembling them because they couldn't get them together. Like, why would they not assemble them before they shipped them? Because they didn't know they worked, or they knew they didn't work. Sorry. So I don't know. I think it's odd. It sucks, but it's cool that they're actually doing something. I mean, but they should. I mean, how could they not? So I don't know. Who knows? I think it's weird. They definitely know. It's very weird. It's like, I don't get it. It's like, oh, okay. Sorry, we didn't realize, you know, we knew that some of them had this problem, but we didn't realize that it was this bad. Then why'd you put them in bags? Put them together before you ship them. It's so weird. I mean, I get like, what the hell was I saying? Like, I get maybe them coming in bags because they're like, maybe it's cheaper or something like that. But like, I don't know. If you're spending like $250 on a hopper or whatever it was, it should be better than that. It shouldn't come in just Ziploc bags. Although they were branded Ziploc bags. They weren't like, you know, just clear freaking freezer bags. That would be funny. Was definitely a crowd favorite. Do you have a clear one? I really like them. I mean, I think that they're really cool. I was kind of excited when I saw them. I mean, I've seen all of them but the clear ones. Like, I've touched all of them but the clear ones. And the ones that I saw were not bent, and they were like assembled, but they were very difficult to get together. Golly. They look cool. They do look cool. I mean, I don't know if you can use them in tournaments and stuff, though, right? Because they're, like, clear, and they technically don't allow clear hoppers. $270 after tax. Yeah, that's brutal. Absolutely. AKA still makes best parts for markers. I actually have an AKA bolt slide cover. What the hell is that? Azure or Azure? Azure. It's right. It's Azure, right? That's how you pronounce that? Azure. Yep. But I think of like Microsoft when I think about Azure. So a little weird. AKA, yeah, they still make like regulators and stuff like that, but I think that's about all, right? Like I haven't looked at AKA paintball stuff in a very long time. Let's look at AKA together. We're going to find out what's going on. Sidewinder right there. Products. Regulators. Sidewinders. Ooh, a tornado valve. You get a tornado valve for your spider. Oh, shit. There you go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Heck yeah. I wanted one of these so bad when I was like 17 for my spider shutter. That picture is a monster. Look at that bad boy. We should build like a crazy spider on the channel. I'm gonna build me a spider. Tornado valves. They used to have like cool bolts and stuff. Yeah, they don't really have anything anymore. I remember the Merlin. There you go. There's the lightning bolt. I had one of these for a cocker. We were buying like parts and stuff and getting upgrades for paintball guns. Like it was kind of fun. But I also really like how everything's just kind of like completed now. You know, you don't have to worry about like buying parts and all that stuff. Stuff's just kind of like ready to go, which is nice. I mean, I much prefer that. What modern markers need aftermarket lots? What modern markers need aftermarket lots or inline regulators? None, really. That's kind of the point. That's kind of why they don't like have anything anymore. I mean, they have some autococker stuff because autocockers are, you know, kind of still farting around. Like people still have autocockers, but most of the guns don't. I mean, most, like, you know, you can't really put anything on an Eclipse gun or like a Lux or, you know, Magfed guns. They're kind of just complete. Ooh, Millennium Spider was your first gun. That's kind of cool. Man, that was one thing that was cool about the paintball store. We always got like weird stuff. Like I remember there was a Millennium at the store that was like black with silver splash. Oh, so cool. And I don't really get to see any of that cool stuff anymore. Which isn't that bad. I mean, I don't have to go to the paintball store every day. Which is, you know, not that bad either. The worst part about owning a business is all the bullshit that comes along with it. Like, I felt like, you know, at one point I was like, you know, before I owned the store, it was like, okay, I worked this paintball store a couple days a week, and like we just kind of talk about paintball and just kind of like dick around and talk to customers. And then it became like, I became like a store manager, or like, not even that, like a corporate manager. It was like, all I had to deal with was like talking to the accountant and the bookkeeper and taxes and income tax, not income tax, but, well, income tax, but, you know, payroll taxes and having to deal with paying sales tax and insurance and licenses and permits. It's like, it's just not that cool. This is not cool. What's up, Brad? What is up? Big ups from Fallbrook, San Diego, baby. Shout out to Jungle Island Paintball. Jungle Island's really cool. But is Fallbrook technically San Diego? You know, it's like people that live in like Riverside that say they live in LA. Some people get super mad. Or if you like live in the valley, if you live in like Simi Valley or, you know, whatever, people get all pissed off if you say you're from LA. It's like people that are like, I'm from San Francisco, but you really live in like Daly City or like, you know, Lafayette or something. Always wanted the Millennium Spider. They're made really well, too. It's kind of weird how they're actually, like, really solidly made. Top cocking was different than the side and rear cocking spiders, for sure. And it was the predecessor to the Timmies. It pretty much was. It's like Bad Company back in the day putting in, like, Intimidator parts into their spider bodies and stuff. It's kind of funny. Cluttle footer. It It is, all right. It is. North County, San Diego, to be exact. Okay, fair enough. I just know it's farther from San Diego, and I guess if the county is big, then, you know, whatever. But is it actually San Diego, or is it just San Diego County? I don't know. North County? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Shit. I don't know anything about it. Paintball Jungle in Amsterdam. Really? Isn't Fallbrook the avocado capital of the world? I don't know. Maybe it is. Jonathan with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. There's not been a lot of those tonight, so I appreciate it. We're trying to break the record. No, we're not going to do that. We're not. Thank you very much. What'd you say? I enjoy content, you betcha, and live streams. My first time ever watching a live stream. Well, hello. Welcome. Come back next Thursday, too. We'll be here again. Maybe we'll have more to talk about next weekend. I don't know. I really like it when I have stuff to talk about, because sometimes like it just helps things, you know, go smoother. I want to know more about Fallbrook in the avocado capital of the world. Fallbrook avocado. Fallbrook is immediately east of the United States Marine Corps Camp Pendleton. Fallbrook is known for its avocado groves and calls itself the avocado capital of the world. We learned something new today. See how much laggy this is? How laggy that like thing is on the screen. Oh my God, it is. San Diego. It is avocado capital of the world. Next time you eat an avocado, think about me. But maybe they're from Mexico, because you could get avocados from Mexico, right? Avocados from Mexico. Something like that. Avocados from Mexico. I don't know. World Cup predictions. I have no idea. I don't know. You know, we've got Dynasty 1-2 tournaments and Damage 1-2 tournaments. I'm putting all my money on the Ironmen. Ironmen are going to win World Cup. No. How about the Latin Saints? Latin Saints. My bro lives in Fallbrook. He's a skater. Is he like a scooters? What kind of skater is he? Ice skating? Ice skating. Are your headbands denim or cotton? Well, funny you should ask. Because all of the Paintball Ruin My Life headbands are denim and cotton. Because all denim is cotton. It's just a specific weave of cotton. You know, like your pants, they're denim. You know, your pants are made out of denim, or jeans are made out of denim, but they're, you know, cotton also. So it's technically both. Wow. Bocce has Tom Cole's EM1 team marker for sale, really. I know that I saw an EM1 the other day on like Reddit, and I was like, man, that's cool. It's so weird though. It's like single trigger. It's such an odd thing. Yeah, headbands are both denim and cotton. There's your answer. I don't know. Avocados from Mexico. Is that right? Let's see. Oh, gosh. Golly. I'm having internet problems. I cannot... I've got like too many things happening at once. Let's see what we got here. Not every avocado is from Mexico.
Avocados from Mexico.
Avocados from Mexico. Damn, I wanted to do that. What's this?
From Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico.
Kind
Avocados
of.
from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico.
I don't know what that is. I got it playing in the background. Okay. Avocados from Mexico. Anyway. Is Harrison frying this ad? Harrison eats a lot of avocados. I don't really eat a lot of avocados. You know, sometimes I will. I don't really like them. I don't like the texture of avocados. It feels like I'm eating like mashed up mash. I'm not a fan. I put them in my smoothies every once in a while, though. I really like those. I just remember the jingle, avocados from Mexico. That's like all I remember. The Giants, the San Francisco Giants, used to have an avocado tree. Giants, God, I cannot spell. Oh, maybe if I put Giants avocado. Maybe if I put San Francisco Giants avocado tree. What if I put it on this screen? Yeah, the San Francisco baseball Giants used to have an avocado tree behind the center field wall. Like you can see it right there. And it was grown there for a long time, and then finally they took it down. I don't really know why they took it down, but you could see it like peeking out. Like, look at it right there. You could like see it peeking out from behind the fence and stuff sometimes. I don't really quite understand. Is that really an avocado tree? Jesus Christ. Anyway, enough friggin' avocado talk. I'm gonna go buy dinner. It's almost 6 o'clock, and then I gotta wait around for an hour, so I don't know what the heck's gonna happen. Oh no, my girlfriend would get so... Oh my god, my girlfriend would get saying stuck in her and keep saying to me, I don't know what's going on. Alright guys, I'm gonna go. Keep it real? You know, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Not that, I don't know, you guys know what I would do and not do. Yeah, no pizza. I had pizza yesterday. What we have yesterday? I had a vegetarian pizza, which I'm not a big fan of, just with all fruits, not fruits. I guess there is fruit on it technically, you know, with the tomato sauce. Just vegetables. I am much more a fan of just straight up pepperoni pizza. We had pepperoni pizza and a veggie pizza, and I ate a slice of veggie and then pretty much ate 3/4 of the pepperoni. It was great. Yeah, guys, come back next weekend. I think this week you'll be seeing... Yep, this coming week, should be... really probably not exciting to you guys, but what new paintball players should wear. So, like clothes you should wear the first time you play paintball. And, yep. It's a very common thing searched on the internet. But then I don't know. I don't know if I should make commonly searched things on the internet anymore. I don't know. I used to just make videos that made sense, right? I'm like, I'm going to make a video about the best CO2 tanks or the best compressed air tank and do this review. But I want to start looking into like different things, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. No idea. Come back next weekend. No, not next weekend. Next Thursday. Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.